This fern is the reason my mother's immigration story finally got told. Not with words, with sunlight, water, and a plant that means resilience. I'm going to show you exactly how that happened, but first you need to understand what this actually is. I'm Jenny. This is Year in Blue. A cyanotype is one of the oldest photographic processes there is, and it doesn't need a camera. You coat paper or fabric with a light sensitive solution, lay down leaves, ferns, flowers, lace, whatever you want to capture. Set it in full sun, then you rinse it in water. This is the part that gets me every time. It doesn't come out blue, it comes out this strange muted green and only becomes blue in the water right in front of you. Hold on to that. That color change matters more than you'd think. I'll come back to it. I started making these in 2020. I don't have to tell you what that year was like. The world got quiet, but my head didn't. I was looking for anything that would make me actually slow down, not just stop moving. Cyanotypes did that. You can't rush the sun, you can't rush water, you just wait and pay attention to the shape of a leaf, to how the light shifts across an afternoon. Somewhere in all that waiting, I started to heal. And once I'd slowed down enough, I noticed something. Plants carry stories. Some are stubborn, some are fragile, some just survive. That noticing is what led me to the project that changed everything for me. I called it the wilderness. This is that same fern from the beginning. In the wilderness, it represents resilience. Since 2015, I had the honor of recording my mother telling her immigration story. There's one part that she comes back to every single time. She calls it El Monte, the wilderness, the stretch of land she had to walk through to reach the United States. She was 4 months pregnant with me. She told me this more times than I can count, and it still stops me every time. Her bravery walking through the wilderness so I could have a shot at a different life. I don't think I'll ever fully get my head around it. And somewhere along the way, I realized something. I walked through the wilderness too. Not the way she did. I walked through it in her womb. I didn't choose that journey, but I carry it. And now I get to carry her story forward through ferns, through plants, through blue paper, so other people can imagine it too. What did she see out there? What does she hold on to? I can't fully answer that, but I can make something that lets people sit with the question. That's what the wilderness was for me. And what surprised me the most is that the prints did something I couldn't have planned. They opened conversations with strangers about immigration, about family, about what it means to survive something for someone else. Art became a bridge I didn't know I was building. Remember that color change I told you to hold on to? Green and then slowly in the water, blue. I still think about that every single time. Nothing arrives finished, it becomes. Ferns to prints, a wilderness she walked through, to a story I get to walk through with her all these years later. That's what this new series is about. Year in Blue isn't a tutorial channel where I pretend to be an expert. It's me, going back to the thing that changed me for a full year. New plants, new techniques, new materials, and honestly, a lot of failed prints along the way. Every single one teaches me something. I'd rather show you that process honestly than pretend it's tidier than it is. If you want to try this yourself, here's exactly what I'm using this year. For the solution, I used the Larisier all-in-one cyanotype solution. It's beginner friendly and takes the guesswork out of mixing. I coat it onto Arches or Canson watercolor paper. It holds the solution well and gives you that texture in the final print. To apply it, I use a flat hockey brush. The wide bristles help you get even coverage without streaking. Once it's coated and I've arranged my plants, I press everything flat under acrylic sheets so nothing shifts while it's exposing. And on sunny days, I just use natural sunlight. But on days that it rains, when the weather doesn't cooperate, I'll use an LED UV exposure unit. It's not required, but it is a nice backup so the weather doesn't dictate your whole creative process. One more thing that isn't essential but I like keeping on hand: hydrogen peroxide. A quick rinse with it after the water bath can deepen and speed up that blue. It's optional, but it's part of my process now. I'll link everything below if you want to grab the exact same setup. Have you ever seen a cyanotype before this, or is this your first time? And if you've got a story like mine, something in your family that a plant, an object, or an image reminds you of, I generally love to hear it in the comments. If you've been looking for a reason to slow down, to notice something small, or to tell a story you haven't found the words for yet, I hope you'll stick around. Welcome to A Year in Blue. Let's begin.